Welcome to the Plaza de Toros de las Ventas. Since the 1930s, this iconic landmark has been the home to bullfighting in the Spanish capital of Madrid. But since 2002, it has also been the stage for the Grand Slam of FMX Red Bull X Fighters. The Matadors and the Bulls, we gave them the night off. And in their place, high-octane, high-flying freestyle motocross riders from around the world performing the most incredible tricks ever conceived on a motocross bike in a setting and for a crowd whose passion, trust me, it's unequaled in sports. This, my friends, is X Fighters, and you are watching the Red Bull Signature Series. Hola everybody, Sal Masekela here, your host of the Red Bull Signature Series, and allow me to welcome you to one of my favorite cities of joy, Madrid, Spain. In the heart of the city stands the Plaza de Toros de las Ventas. So intimate a setting is this bull ring that the competitors actually have to launch from inside the tunnels in order to get enough speed to perform their death-defying maneuvers. Trust me, Las Ventas never disappoints. This place has a history of being a place where tricks are performed for the first time in competition, and I don't really have a doubt that tonight we're going to continue that tradition. The energy in the bull ring, palpable as always, with over 20,000 psychotic fans, many dressed in the traditional white with a red scarf commemorating the San Fermin festival that occurs throughout Spain at this time of year. And you can hear them cheering and jeering the riders as they throw tricks with very simple names like Flare, California Roll, Kiss of Death, Rock Solid, Cliffhanger, Volt, and of course, never to be outdone, the double backflip. Now, if you win the day, you are treated like a champion matador. The rest of the field, while they are luckier than the bulls, they still get sent home packing. We got riders from all over the world, but the ones to really watch, the favorites, would be the Spaniard, Danny Torres, a local, Taka Higashino from Japan, Australia's Josh Sheehan, and New Zealander Levi Sherwood, who won this competition back in 2012. Now, unfortunately, Francis Tomas Paget, a four-time consecutive winner, he's out recovering from a recent surgery. Semifinals are about to start, and the crowd, they are fired up. So we're going to check in with Lee Diffie and Tess Sewell for the call.
Sal, thanks very much. There are three of those head-to-head semi-finals where three riders will progress to the main event. But most importantly, Tess, how are they judged?
There are 5 expert judges, Lee, sitting up there in the stands, and they are judging everything you do, broken into 5 categories: difficulty, variety, execution, style, and energy. And if you want to move to the next round, you need to win 3 out of those 5 judges.
And one man who knows how to win over the judges and win this event, he's done it 4 times, is standing by with Tina Dixon.
Well, I am now joined by 4-time winner Tom Pages, who is here. We're so glad you're here, but not quite recovered from shoulder surgery. Can you explain what's happened?
Well, it was a long time injury, you know, and I had to do this surgery. And obviously I was thinking that it would be really tough coming back to Madrid. So the decision was difficult, but I had to do this. And I thought I would be ready on time, and I'm not. So it's a shame. I'm sad, but next time.
You know, just to see your face here, I think it means a lot, and it means a lot to the competitors and the fans. What does it mean to you?
Well, it's always been important in Madrid, you know, this event. I've been part of this event with my brother since 2007, so it's a long story here. And yeah, happy to see the public, the guys, the rider, and we're all friends pretty much. So it's all good to live the passion again. So yeah, I want to be back soon, for sure.
Yeah. So great to see you. Thanks for speaking with us, Tom.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Tino. Well, 12 riders entered the bull ring for the quarterfinals, with the top 2 from each heat advancing to the semi-final.
The top qualifier, Levi Sherwood and Luke Ackerman, they moved through easily over Noviero's Fred Kirillos and Christian Meyer, who crashed while attempting a double backflip. Then a big surprise, our favorite Clinton Moore. He failed to execute his signature trick, the Bundy, and that allowed Danny Torres and Adam Jones to take the top spots in quarterfinal Heat 2. And even though hometown hero Michael Milero executed the only front flip in the competition, a huge mistake on another trick opened the door for injured Taka Higashino to move through to the semi-final.
And Josh Sheehan put down the highest scored run of the entire quarterfinals. The first of 3 semi-final head-to-head clashes is about to begin. And here in Madrid, there are 7 different countries represented, only 1 Japanese rider, that's Taka Higashino, and only 1 American, and there he is, Adam Jones.
Adam Jones rides to the beat of his own drum, and what I mean there is he does different tricks to everybody else. He doesn't try double backflips, he's not trying tricks like the flare. He does such an original run that I think the judges love watching him because it is something different. The other thing about Adam is precision. When you watch him execute these tricks, it's so beautifully done.
Keep an eye on the countdown clock, and there are 2. There is a 20-second countdown prior to the start, and each rider in X Fighters has 75 seconds to get their stuff out there.
Oh, big double grab flip to start it off there. You saw the great extension from Adam Jones. The ramp he just hit there is over 100 feet from the takeoff point to the landing, so you really need to have some guts to execute those big tricks.
The thing I find fascinating that we've seen already so far in the quarterfinals and the lead-up, a no-hander lander.
And that's what we're talking about. Adam Jones there, he's doing a trick nobody else would try. He's doing those no-handed bar hops. It looks so unusual that I think it really, really gets in the judges' heads.
And Adam's trying to get in Higashino's head at the moment, ripping off some good runs. I'm intrigued by the length here. Different riders will go to different lengths in the respective tunnels.
Well, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the perfect running to set them up for that takeoff. And that's what Adam was doing there. Look at that. That was actually a triple trick. There's so many things going on in that one jump. And again, there, 75 feet from the takeoff to the landing, he's trying to get the maximum out of every piece of that jump.
Time is up for Adam Jones. There's 7 seconds left. Now, if he can get back into a tunnel, the time will still count.
Oh, I think he managed to do it there. If you get into the entrance of the tunnel, which is what he did, so now he can actually relax a little bit. He will get to take this trick and add it to the list for the judges. Oh, big dead body flip from Adam Jones. And that was the end of that run that he really needed to put an accent on it. And I think the judges will take notice.
That's the quality that gets this semi-finals going. Is Adam Jones going to be satisfied with this test?
Well, take a look at this. The no-handed bar hop, and then he doesn't even touch the bars for that no-handed landing. And then here, he's going for the cliffhanger. Great extension, and Adam Jones is a tall guy, over 6 feet tall, so it really, really accents the trick when he gets all of that lift.
The man who has invented such moves as the Cordova flip and many others gets the semi-finals action going.
And here we see that kiss of death, trying to get the legs as extended as possible underneath that bike. And the other thing I'd say, beautiful landings from Adam Jones. He really manages to get both those wheels down at the same time. There's the dead body flip. Look at that landing.
He seems pleased.
He should be pleased. That was a great run. That really sets this one up for Taka to have to ride hard to try and take him down.
Adam Jones has set the bar here in Madrid. Up next, it's Japan's 3-time X Games gold medalist, Taka Higashino. You're watching the Red Bull Signature Series. Adam Jones put down an excellent run in his first semi-final, which means it's time for Taka Higashino to take to the course in this head-to-head matchup. But first, let's check in with Tina Dixon.
Well, guys, a quick update on Taka Higashino. It was less than 2 weeks ago that he hurt his right shoulder attempting a front flip. He over-rotated, fell pretty hard. Now, he's got it pretty taped up, and we've already seen him put in some great runs, which is good. But when I talked to him earlier, he said his biggest concern was getting the extension he needed on the tricks. Remember, form and style are key here in freestyle motocross. So for you, keep your eyes on that right shoulder, and if Taka is able to get the required extension, guys.
Tina, thanks. We will keep a close eye on it. How big a deal, Tess, do you think it's going to be?
Well, I think in Taka's normal run, this is a really big deal because he goes for those big extension tricks off the bars. One thing I can tell you, that ramp that you saw on the left there, the front flip ramp, he's not going to be using that. He really had a hard time at Nitro Games with that crash. But I still think he's going to put it all on the line because once you're there and riding, the adrenaline takes over.
This guy is unreal.
Wow, rock solid backflip. That is his signature trick. When he's upside down, he actually lets go of the bike completely. And that shoulder seems to be doing all right so far.
The 32-year-old from Osaka in Japan is one of the most charismatic guys in the FMX world.
Nice. Cali roll, another one of the varios invented by Taka Higashino. And I love the fact that he's back to the bike so quickly that he's confident enough to do that fist pump.
He's got Adam Jones' attention, that's for sure.
Wow. Actually, a really interesting trick there. He's going a little bit old school. He's trying to get a variety score. That trick's actually called the stripper. And then he comes in for the flare. Ooh, almost overcooks it, but lands that one.
Landing quite hard, but made it stick. So time running out for Taka. What's he got left?
Well, remember, with that shoulder injury, everything he does, that's a mistake. Oh, wow. Unbelievable kiss of death backflip with an injured shoulder where all of that pressure is put onto the right shoulder.
There was nothing wrong with the extension there.
Oh, man. So that did answer the question you asked earlier, Lee. He's leaving nothing on the table. It's all out here tonight in Las Ventas. And a great end to that run.
And Higashino is pumped. We mentioned earlier he's one of the more charismatic guys on the FMX World Tour. And this crowd in Madrid just love him.
And the one thing you can say about Taka Higashino, underneath that helmet, there is always a smile. He's one of the happiest guys I've ever met. I am surprised, though, at how big he managed to do that kiss of death flip with that really quite badly injured shoulder. So looking here, watch the hands come off the bike. He literally is lying underneath that bike in midair. It's just a fantastic trick.
There's the move, the California roll that he invented.
And I love that left-hand fist pumping while he's there. This is quite a funny trick. The stripper, actually invented by our head judge, Ronnie Renner. So trying to get a little bit of a favor, I think, from the head judge. And almost overcooking that, the 540 flare. And this is what I was talking about. Look at how he hangs under that bike. Imagine how that felt on his injured shoulder.
And finishes with style. That's a great run from Taka. And they get roosted by Levi Sherwood. Taking it all in their stride. These guys have wonderful fun together, and we'll see Levi shortly here at X Fighters. The favorite coming in to this year's X Fighters here in Madrid. What's your gut tell you, though, Tess, about how these two will be judged? The first head-to-head semi.
This one is really hard because, you know, we saw Adam's perfection in his run. He really does execute everything so well. And it's so different to Taka's run. It's really hard to compare because it's not apples to apples. So that first helmet, the energy goes to Adam Jones. So that is quite interesting. Normally that's That's Taka's domain.
Higashino now levels it with one each.
So the execution helmet went to Adam Jones, 2 apiece. And Renner's style, Taka Higashino, he's gonna move on to the finals.
So even with that injured shoulder, he defeats Adam Jones of the United States here at X Fighters. And he is pumped about that.
Tough break for Adam Jones, but a great result for Higashino. Get a little ice on that shoulder and get ready to get back to the finals.
Semi 1 is done. Semi 2 coming up. Hey, they're not afraid to throw a little sand at each other either. You're watching the Red Bull Signature Series, and Levi Sherwood is next.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series and X Fighters here in Madrid, Spain. I am your host, Sal Masekela. Now, since 2002, the very best in freestyle motocross have descended upon Madrid to showcase their best tricks in front of 20,000 crazy human beings. Now, with a location that promotes progression and a crowd that really encourages pushing your limits, it's really no wonder that the likes of Travis Pastrana, Robbie Madison, Matt Ribot, and Tomás Paget have reigned supreme here in the Plaza de Toros de las Ventas, inspiring new and current freestyle riders to keep pushing beyond what we thought was ever possible on a motorcycle.
Madrid is pretty special. It's where the X Fighters series started.
It's the birthing of X Fighters, obviously. It started here in Plaza de Toros. It's been going on for so long and it's had so much history created here.
It's the event of the events, and it's just super crazy to be here and to ride here in Madrid.
The fans here is crazy.
As soon as you go into that stadium, it is massive. For as high as you can look up, it's just people everywhere.
You can feel the atmosphere and you can feel the vibes out there when you're riding.
The fans appreciate everything. They love the bikes. You give it a rev, they love the noise.
They get pretty excited over just about any run here. Just because of the intensity they bring as a crowd, it really gets you psyched up.
The hard part is trying to just stay relaxed under all that.
The reason we see freestyle evolve so much here in Madrid is the way the course is set out is asking for big tricks.
It's not a technical course where you're gonna lay up on this jump to make sure you get a good one on this jump.
Where some other courses we have jumps that are in a line, or you might have a dirt takeoff, and no dirt takeoff is the same. But all these ramps out here, they're all the standard ramps. You know, we've all rode them. It's kind of easier to do the progressive tricks at this arena.
It's the biggest things all the time is what happens out here, and it's really cool, man. I'm glad that freestyle still has progressed and that there are still people willing to push it.
And Tess, when you hear the athletes themselves break it down, put it in their own words, it's very cool.
Well, in its 16th consecutive year here, this is an educated Spanish crowd, so educated and passionate. They love rewarding these riders.
So, time for semi-final matchup number 2. The crowd's going to go crazy for Spain's own Danny Torres up against Levi Sherwood. But first, here's Tina.
Well, guys, Danny Torres just headed out for his semi-final run. Now, he is the hometown hero. He has won this event before, but when I talked to him earlier, he had not been on his bike in about a month because of injury, and he seemed really unsure of himself. In fact, qualified 11th. But guys, the fans here in Madrid, Spain, absolutely love Danny Torres, and that could be the difference for him tonight.
So, Tess, it wasn't that long ago that I asked you about Taka Higashino and his injured shoulder, and it didn't affect him because he has transferred to the main event. What are your thoughts on Torres?
You know, Danny has been plagued with injuries over these past few years, but this, Las Ventas, is Danny's house, and you expect this crowd will be able to lift him and carry him through almost anything. But the time off the bike Tina was talking about, I think that might actually cost him in his riding.
Higashino is so pleased to be through. This is Danny Torres getting things going here in Madrid.
Seat grab, backflip, tried to do the Indian air where you scissor kick the legs, and he didn't get great extension there. And this is, I think, the change we've seen in Danny's style is that he's getting a little stunted in his tricks because of these injuries. Oh, big lazy boy backflip. As I say, he's not getting extension. Torres proves me wrong.
And you'll see amazing efficiency from the riders to dart down any of the 3 tunnels because time is, of course, paramount. They've got to get back out there. What's Danny got this time?
Here we go, the flatliner, whipping the bike out. Out and trying to get the great extension, so he is picking things up. He is going for the quarter pipe. Nice flare, great landing. So Danny Torres is starting to pick up the pace here. It looks like he is being carried along by this Spanish crowd. This is good for Torres, bad for Sherwood.
You're looking at a Red Bull X-Fighters World Tour champion in Danny Torres.
Torres does the executioner, reaches back, touches the boot, still has 10 seconds left in this run to impress this hometown crowd.
And this will be it. Danny Torres for the final time.
Goes off the big ramp, the Cordova flip to end it out. Listen to this crowd.
That is awesome. And when you see Torres with that final run, folks, he's traveling more than 100 feet.
And that is such a big jump when you think about it, the amount of air time and the hang time you have. But the thing is, you do backflips off the 100-footer, backflips off the 75-footer, you've got to change the way you rotate. Here, a 100-foot backflip, you see he just kind of flicked the foot there. He was looking for a little bit more out of that extension. But here, he starts to get much better extension. Look at how far he reaches in that lazy boy flip.
Considering the time away from the bike with injury, that was a pretty impressive run.
Now, I was really surprised at how he picked it up after that first trick. And watch this. Absolutely amazing flare. Lands it well, so he's not really taking a lot of that impact. And here, again, the executioner, the only guy really doing this trick, and does it so well that I love the little tap of the boot there, really trying to accent the trick.
Nobody has competed in more Red Bull X-Fighter events than this guy, the 29-year-old Spaniard, Danny Torres.
And here, playing the torero in the bull ring, and the Spanish fans love that.
He's pretty jacked about that run. First in semi-final number 2. But he's up against Levi Sherwood, who is one of the hottest guys on the planet in FMX. What's the key we got when we come back to Red Bull Signature Series? Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series. This is X-Fighters from the iconic Plaza de Toros de las Ventas in Madrid, Spain. The crowd, as you can see, is impassioned after local Danny Torres' appearance. It'll be a tall order for this guy, Levi Sherwood, to win them over and deliver a winning run. We'll see what he's got in a moment, but first, here's Tina Dixon.
Guys, not only has Levi Sherwood been working really hard on his tricks, he's also been working hard on figuring out ways to reduce the weight of his bike. He's the type of guy, he wakes up, he goes to the garage and he looks at his bike and says, how can I make things better? Now, over the last 2 years, it's been paying off with the use of materials like carbon fiber and aluminum. He's taken off about 30 pounds off of this machine. And if you're asking, is that legal in the world of freestyle motocross? It is. A lot of it comes down to personal preference. Levi likes a lighter bike. He says for him, it really helps him on those double flips, which he's only been doing since April, and already adding those combinations, guys.
Tess, to do a comparison within the motorcycle world, this guy, Levi Sherwood, reminds me of Johnny Walker, who is also a Red Bull KTM rider in the hard enduro world. He just always looks at one with his bike.
Well, you know, he's a mad scientist, so he understands that bike. The other thing, too, he's on that two-stroke. It's a light bike for a light guy, and that is why he can pull such massive tricks.
And look, does not go up high on the ramp, flicks it round. Time efficiency is key here. Back into the tunnel.
It's just incredible. Like you say, being at one with that machine, and he really is. You see, the bike is an extension of him. He's an extension of the bike. It's such fluidity of motion, and wow, a double backflip with a knack-knack. You might have missed that as you're watching that trick because so much is happening. But in the middle of that first flip, he actually swiped his right foot over the back of the bike.
That got Danny Torres looking, and why wouldn't it? Renowned for his double backflips, but to add a little flair like that was spectacular.
This is where Levi is really starting to stamp his authority on this event. He's taking time too. He is not in a rush at all. And another double backflip.
He's done it again.
Absolutely unbelievable. So few riders in the world of freestyle motocross have even attempted a double backflip. Levi just did 2 in one run, and he's still not finished.
He's made it back into the tunnel before the time. You see the 000 in the background. One more from Levi.
And a massive 100-foot seat grab flip to end it off. That was about as perfect as a run could be, and I think, unfortunately, Danny Torres knows it.
The face said it all there. The expression from the Spaniard Torres saying, I did the best that I could, but I don't think I've got anything for that.
And I don't think there should be any regrets from Torres here. He really did put in an excellent freestyle run, but against this guy, it is just so hard to get any notice from the judges because Levi is just so on his game right now. Oh.
Wow.
I mean, the extension there and the fact that he actually nods his head down to look at you. But this is that flip. Watch that right foot comes over the back of the bike. And he still has one backflip to go.
Now, there is no judging criteria that says form, but his form is incredible.
Well, I think here he's judged both on the way he does it, the style he does it, which would be Ronnie Renner's category, but also the fact that his execution is so tight. Here we go. The next double backflip one-hander. I missed that when we looked at it the first time, but he took the hand off on the first flip. So 2 huge double backflip combos in one run. And then he just ends it with, you know, it's almost a pedestrian seat grab flip. I think I know where this is going.
I think Danny Torres knows where this is going as well.
There we go, energy. I mean, how could you not give him energy? And degree of difficulty of a double backflip from Daniel Bodine. I don't think there's any doubt there either. I don't think there's any doubt that 5 helmets are going to be on Levi's side.
4. That was for variety because he mixed it up beautifully. And there it is, the 5th helmet. It's a clean sweep for Levi Sherwood. He's able to win over the judges and the crowd and joins Taka Higashino in the final. Up next, it's Aussie Josh Sheehan and Germany's Luke Ackermann. You're watching X Fighters, part of the Red Bull Signature Series. Welcome back to Red Bull Signature Series here at Las Ventas in Madrid, Spain for X Fighters, the FMX event of the year. Now, before we get to the next semi-final head-to-head matchup, let's check in with semi-final winner Levi Sherwood, who's with Tina.
Levi, you told me earlier that you had to leave it all out there on the table. How much are you doing that at this point?
That was about 99% there. I have to make one small change for the final round just within the rules. We've got to make a slight variation, so save that for the last one, but like I said, I'm going to give it all I've got.
The double backflips. I mean, you're not only just doing them, but you're doing them with combination. How are they feeling?
Good, good. I'm starting to enjoy them, actually. They still scare me, but get a little bit nervous, but kind of once I'm out there riding it, it's actually kind of fun.
To hear that you enjoy a double backflip, that is something great. We'll have a great final run. Thanks.
Levi looking pretty relaxed. So on to our third head-to-head matchup to determine who will be the third and final rider into the main event. Australia's Josh Sheehan up against Germany's Luke Ackermann.
And Ackermann in because of Pages's injury, but he's a giant killer. In the past, he actually beat Tom Pages in Munich, Germany, because Pages made a mistake.
Think about how big a deal this is for the 19-year-old German FMX rider. We'll see what he's got shortly, but first, Tina's got more on him.
Well, guys, remember that this is Luke Ackermann's very first X-Fighters here in Madrid, Spain. He said he loves the crowd. He only got the phone call a week ago as a replacement for the injured Tom Pages. Now, I just spoke to him. He said he wants to improve the landing on his flare, but looking so focused. And guys, at the age of 19, that young Luke Ackermann has already been making an impact.
From what you know of Ackermann, what do you think he's got here?
Luke is a very solid rider. The real question is, can he pull it all together in this massive stage and get himself really mentally focused on his run? It's really hard to do here. 20,000 screaming Spanish fans, the biggest stage in this sport, and you're 19 years old. Oh, seat stand. He's standing on the seat to start it off.
Wow, nice.
Oh! I did not think he was going to bring that back around, but somehow, seat stand to kiss of death backflip. What a great start for the young German.
Think about this. He can tell his friends he's performing in an arena where the Beatles, where AC/DC have played.
And look at this. The Cali roll lands it perfectly. Big risk should give him big reward.
And just adjusting the flip levers there.
Well, you got to put those flip levers up, because if you don't have the flip levers up and you do a big bike move, it can actually rip the bike right out of your hands. You see this? He's pushing his wrists against those levers to actually pull him back down on the bike. Otherwise, he and the bike would be in two different directions.
And he ran pretty deep there. He ran quite long. Now he's headed for the super kicker.
Oh, what's he got here? Whoa, a 360 knack-knack. Again, a little bit of a hard landing there, but I am very surprised at the variety of tricks that Luke Ackermann is managing to pull out here. This is a fantastic run for him.
And remember that variety is one of the criteria that is judged on. 3 seconds left.
Seat grab, backflip. And the funny part here is we didn't... Oh, here he goes.
Oh, time was up.
Oh, hard landing. He said he was trying to improve those landings to Tina, but I don't understand why he would leave that until after time.
Great run from the German teenager. But perhaps the one that he wanted to seal the deal, he left it a little too late.
So see, he's standing on the seat when he takes off. Huge extension, but look at how late he gets back to the bike. He's almost on the dirt by the time he sits down.
Cali roll was beautiful.
And then he comes in, a good landing there, nice and high, but he starts to overcook things a little bit and actually land quite far down the landing. You see how hard those landings are for him.
We were talking about the style and the form and the composition of Levi Sherwood. This was a little looser than that.
Well, I think he's got these tricks, he's figured them out, but he hasn't quite figured them out to 100%. He's at about 95% right now, and that's why he's under-rotating. Watch this. It's a great flare, but he doesn't quite get around far enough. See, the back wheel hits there. He has to put the foot down, but it didn't matter because this was after time in his run. But it doesn't matter. He's 19 years old on the biggest stage in freestyle motocross.
So that's Luke Ackermann done. Josh Sheehan of Australia is next. This is X Fighters from Madrid, Spain, and you're watching the Red Bull Signature Series. Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series. This is X Fighters from Madrid, Spain, and more than 20,000 people are cheering on these FMX superstars. Lee Diffie and Tess Sewell with you. Luke Ackerman from Germany has completed his run. Now it's time for Australia's Josh Sheehan to respond, and our Tina Dixon caught up with him after the qualifying round this morning.
Well, Josh, you had that great first run, a score in the 90s. Give us your assessment there.
Yeah, pretty happy with that first run. I didn't really make any mistakes, and yeah, I couldn't beat that in the end, so happy to finish off in third and yeah, ready for the night.
You know, so many people when they watch you ride, they look for that double flip. How did that feel there?
Yeah, that one felt really good out there. It's a good ramp that we've got, and yeah, now we've got a couple other people doing doubles, so it's cool. It's, you know, it's going to make it a really tough competition.
Looking forward to it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks a lot.
Josh Sheehan in good spirits. And on a side note, he is the only one at this stage of X Fighters on a 450. Wait till you hear the big thumper.
Well, you can hear that noise, the 450 engine. The big thing about this, when you are double backflipping, you need to keep the revs up because the engine will act as a brake if you stop revving.
And there's his mother and father, Tom and Julie Sheehan, have come a long way from Western Australia. What's their son get it going with?
Oh, look at that. Absolutely huge double grab to start this one off. So he's seen Luke Ackerman, kind of a messy run, although some great tricks. Josh wants to get really great execution out here. He's getting the extension on the tricks too, and I think that's where a lot of guys, they kind of get knocked by these judges. So as amazing as all of these tricks are with all of the riders, the judges want to see perfection.
Nice extension. This is a solid start from Josh Sheehan. You're talking about a Red Bull. Oh, and he's now on the quarter pipe.
Wow, that was a really quick move. Smart use of the course there in this really short 75-second time window they have. He went from one trick, turned around, and hit that flare and executed it really well.
He's a Red Bull X Fighters World Tour champion. And that's why you're seeing the caliber of the tricks that he's doing.
Now, his parents look a little bit concerned because in this tunnel, he's slowing down. I suspect this is where he will go to hit the double flip.
Josh Sheehan aboard his 450 Honda. It is! It's the double backflip!
Nice landing! Both wheels down at exactly the same time. You heard that rev of the engine. And that's it. Look at the relief on his mother's face.
So, in these semi-final head-to-head matchups, we've seen 3 double backflips. 2 from that man there, Levi Sherwood. Luke Ackerman, I think, now realizes he may be not going through to the final with a performance like that from Josh Sheehan.
Luke Ackerman put down a great run, a couple of small mistakes. Josh Sheehan, the run was perfect. Great extension, and the judges will recognize it.
And this 20,000 plus strong crowd really appreciating Sheehan's run.
You saw there with the double grab flip, grabbing the holes that are cut out underneath the seat. Fantastic extension. Look at this. Look how far he gets from the bike. Somehow manages to get everything back on before he lands. And I really like this. The look-through kiss of death backflip. And again, notice the landings, how perfectly he's setting them down. This is going to be a very, very hard run to beat by anybody.
And yes, you know what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the replay of that double backflip. It's coming.
Here we go. Number 1 sights his landing and watch the wheels. Boom! Both down at exactly the same time.
Looking. And the timing, just brilliant.
And then, like the toreros that spend their Sundays in this bull ring, entertaining the Spanish crowd. Absolutely fantastic run from Sheehan.
He's pleased with that, and so he should be. The teenager beside him Ackermann from Germany just taking it all in. And now time for the judging.
So the energy, I think all 5 helmets have to go Josh Sheehan's way because he put in such a good run. As close to perfection as you can get. And that's it, he's got 3, so he is going to move through. Let's see if he gets all 5.
Yep, as you said earlier, Tess, with Levi Sherwood, no surprise to see the 5 helmets from the judges awarding them all to Josh Sheehan. So the Australian will join the New Zealander Levi Sherwood and the Japanese rider Taka Higashino in the main event. See who can win X Fighters Madrid 2017. Time now to join Sal Masekela back in the Red Bull Signature Series studio.
Thank you, Lee. We are now down to the final 3 riders, wild men. New Zealander Levi Sherwood, Australia's Josh Sheehan, and Taka Higashino from Japan, all advancing. And what an accomplishment for Taka, who hurt his shoulder in competition just 2 weeks ago and wasn't sure he'd even be able to execute. Is it going to be a 450 or 250 that brings home the win? And what are these riders still holding that they haven't shown us yet? Yeah, you should stick around and find out as we return with more from Las Ventas in Madrid, Spain, as you are watching the Red Bull Signature Series. Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series and X Fighters here at Las Ventas in Madrid, Spain. I am your host, Sal Masekela. Taka Higashino, Mr. California Roll. In this day and age, to have invented a trick gets you legendary status. Taka, he is one of those legends, creating the body varial, the California Roll, back in 2014. But in a sport that focuses so much on progression, are tricks that were invented only a few years ago even enough? Coming off of a hurt shoulder in competition only 2 weeks ago, Taka is here to prove that progression lives in the mind of the rider.
My signature trick is California roll. I did a new trick for body barrier, you know, like it's now calling California roll, but I was stupid, like a photographer and me and have a dinner. After that practice, hey Taka, you made a new trick. What's gonna call this name? Then I was nothing thinking about. Then we eating California rolls. Oh, it's California roll. Then I was joking, you know. Then everybody started calling California. I should put my name, you know, Taka something, you know. Because a long time ago, Kerry Hart doing heart attack. So his name using heart attack, then forever everybody know. Then now like everybody call California, nobody know me, you know. So lock three backflip too, like I already have this is an upright trick, so I can make the name, so I'm thinking, damn it. Seriously, dangerous. I should call it Taka roll or something. Yeah.
What a wonderful insight into one of the bigger characters on the FMX World Tour. So we have the finalists, Higashino along with Sherwood and Sheehan, to decide who will win X Fighters Madrid 2017. It's all to play for, and Taka will be up first.
Just unbelievable how well Taka is riding with that shoulder injury. And he was really badly hurt 2 weeks ago. I'm actually shocked that he's here riding at all, let alone at the level we've already seen here tonight in Las Ventas.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about, considering how bad the weather was just a matter of 4 or 5 hours ago, the track, the jumps, everything's gone pretty good.
Well, you can actually see the mud on their tires as they come towards these ramps. I mean, again, there, you see the mud being pushed up that ramp, but they're not afraid. They're just going for this. Track team have done a fantastic job in preparing this arena. and it is ready for this final. Taka already has come out big with a rock-solid flip, and there again, the kiss of death flip, pulling down on those shoulders. I can't imagine how much pain he's in when he does that.
And you see both Sherwood and Sheehan going through their pre-run routines, almost like an Olympic diver.
Going in there again with the stripper and the one-hand pump. He's trying to get a little bit of that traditional trick in there too to get the variety judges' attention. Nice flare. He pulls it around. He lands it very solidly. So this has been a great run so far for Taka Higashino, but we know what's coming up with both Sheehan and Sherwood to follow him.
Taka is the first Japanese rider. Well, does his own California roll.
And a little bump there in the middle of that Cali roll, so a little bit of concern, but he managed to get his way back around, still does the fist pump before he lands.
First Japanese medalist ever in the X Games in FMX. Lives in the US now.
Wow. Well, he got all of that extension. Again, he is not worried about what he's doing to that right shoulder, but I guarantee you, he is very happy to be done with that run. And now he can go and take a little bit of a rest and take the weight off that shoulder.
Tremendous run, but the question just begs, doesn't it? Oh, he's not going to throw his helmet, surely. No way. It is very rare you see a motorcycle rider give their helmet away. Taka just teasing the crowd, but I was about to say, Tess, the question that hangs over this is, has he done enough to compete against two guys who do double backflips?
Listen to that Spanish crowd. Well, honestly, I think the smart thing for Taka is putting in such a good, solid, well-executed run. I mean, look at that rock-solid backflip. He knows that the pressure now is on Sherwood and Sheehan, and if they make a mistake, he is going to take advantage of it.
And when you see extension like that on the kiss of death, considering he has an injured right shoulder, just underscores the quality of this competitor and his dedication here at X Fighter.
Now look at this, the flare, he comes around, very impressed at how smoothly he lands this one. And then when he goes in for the Cali roll, he comes around, he gets hooked up just a little bit there, but once he knows he's around and back on that bike, the happy fist pump. And I love that, the Indian Air double grab. I mean, the extension he got there on that trick. It's a fantastic run. A couple of years ago would have absolutely won this event, but he's up against two big hitters coming up.
And you'd have to think some big points scored in the category of energy. 1 down, 2 to go. Levi Sherwood is next up from Las Ventas in Madrid. This is X Fighters, and you're watching the Red Bull Signature Series.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series and X Fighters here at the Plaza de Toros de las Ventas in Madrid, Spain. I am your host, Sal Masekela. Levi Sherwood, the Rubber Kid. He's known for his flawless execution, perfect body placement, and mind-boggling extension. Yet, for some reason, it's been 5 years since Sherwood has stood at the top of the podium here in Madrid. He comes back with a fire in his eyes and a newly found passion for his riding. The Rubber Kid has his sights set to return to glory and bring home the win in 2017. But in a competition where perfection does not outweigh progression, now Sherwood has to prove that he is the evolution of this sport.
I think style is probably my signature if you maybe ask people how I ride or what's unique about what I do. To do the trick and make it look good is something I've always worked towards. But it's nearly bad for me because I make it look too easy in a way, so it's quite hard because I want to go out there and make it look easy, but the judges don't want to see that. I think that's got me all the way to this point today, but now I need to do the bigger tricks with the style to keep going. A no-handed double flip. I'm the first person to do this trick, so I'm pretty stoked on it, but it's pretty hectic. You're spinning twice, and on that first rotation, you got to take your hands off. The hardest thing about it is because you're spinning so quick, you're actually getting ripped off your bike as soon as you let go. So you take your hands off, but you're constantly fighting to get back. And it all happens pretty quickly, so you've got to get it done.
Tess, that is just mind-blowing as there's some Kiwis in the crowd cheering on their man Levi, but he's saying you're fighting to get yourself back on the bike, but this is happening in a split second.
Well, basically, as soon as you take off that ramp, he lets go, and he's had to figure out a way to hook his feet to try and keep him on the bike, but Levi, he's a tactician and a technician. He figures out how to do things. He's like the mad scientist of freestyle motocross. I love the fact, though, that he said he makes things look so easy that the judges don't rank him high enough. Tom Pages, Clinton Moore, two guys who you'd expect to see in a final. Moore made a mistake, and he's out of the competition. Tom, of course, injured. I mean, just incredible how he does that, and he does it every single time. And you see how much time he spends off the bike. I think that is the critical thing that differentiates Levi Sherwood from so many other riders. He's going in for the double backflip ramp here. Oh! It's painful to watch that thing because how can he do that so consistently every time? There, the double backflip with a knack in the first flip.
And Taka has become a spectator and is watching something very special in Levi Sherwood. He doesn't run long on his jumps. He's very efficient, spins it back around, gets back into that tunnel. He's making the most of his time.
But you see where he's not really overselling it, right? I mean, that's the crazy part. Back into that double backflip ramp, and he got the hands off there. Wow. I mean, this is just, it's alarming to watch this run.
Yeah, it's worthy of that. It is every bit worthy of that. 5 seconds left on the clock in X Fighters in Madrid for a man who's already a Red Bull X Fighters World Tour champion.
Nice, ending it out with an absolutely stunningly executed double grab backflip. I have absolutely no idea what Josh Sheehan is going to do to answer this. I love the fact, though, that Josh was just focused on his own run during the entirety of Levi's run.
The man with the mullet is unbelievable. Levi Sherwood, the low fuss, no fuss, get it done. But look at just how he gets it done.
And how long he was in that position in the kiss of death looking through. But watch this one. There goes that right foot. Still has one more backflip to go. Both tires landing at the same time. And this, honestly, this 360, this is what he means. It looked so easy and so effortless that the judges are lulled into not giving it the score it needs.
But he gets that bike, that rotation, he gets the bike around with enough time, with plenty of time to execute that landing. And look, there it is.
There it is. The hands are off. You almost miss it. But what I noticed there is his bike is actually slightly twisted in the second flip. So that's a terrifying thing to watch. But look at that. Poetry in motion, the double grab flip, and an absolutely beautiful landing for Sherwood.
And that body language there is, yes, I nailed it. And the crowd knows they've seen excellence. So job done for Levi Sherwood. It's not done yet for Josh Sheehan. Can he do anything to stop Levi? We'll find out. This is X Fighters, and you're watching the Red Bull Signature Series.
Hi friends, welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series and X Fighters here in Madrid, Spain. I'm your host, Sal Masekela. Josh Sheehan, the Unicorn. He has that nickname because Josh is the only man to land Travis Pastrana's impossible dream, the 1-2-3, aka the triple backflip. Now, with something so incomprehensible under his belt, throwing around the double backflip consistently in competition, that should be easy, right? And for a long time, Josh has been the only competitor to execute this feat repeatedly. But because we see it all the time, us mere mortals forget that the double backflip, it's not easy. They're risking their lives, especially in the tight confines of Las Ventas.
Double backflip to me still is impressive. It scares the crap out of me every time. It looks relatively simple because it is. The motion of the trick is just a single plane. You're only rotating one way. It's just a matter of getting the right rotation. But because you spin quite fast, if you don't have grip tape or anything holding you on the bike, you can slide away from the bike. So people either have a foot hook or I run lots of grip tape. I don't lock my feet in with anything, so I can't exactly take a hand off or a foot off mid-double flip because I just slide off the bike. So, yeah, might need to mix things up a bit to be able to add tricks, but yeah, hopefully I don't have to start doing double flip combinations. To win here in Madrid would be awesome. I've won a series, but I've yet to win here. It's special. Some of the greatest legends in the sport have competed and won here, and yeah, I would love to put my name on that list.
So it all comes down to this final run here in Madrid for Josh Sheehan. Because from the two who have gone so far, Taka Higashino and Levi Sherwood, in all fairness, Tess, and no disrespect to Taka, Sherwood has set the bar very, very high.
Sherwood's run was, absolutely spectacular and flawless. But Josh Sheehan has a lot of really big tricks. The challenge with him on that four-stroke bike, the double backflip is really hard to add an extra trick to, because if he takes his hand off the throttle, the bike will actually stall a little bit in its rotation. So I don't know if Josh has anything big enough to answer what Levi put down.
Strong start so far.
Well, yeah, it's been a great ride so far for Josh Sheehan, but what Levi put down and what everyone's fixating on are those big double backflips in his run. And look at that. Great kiss of death, really great extension, but Levi holds it a little bit longer.
Now talk about variety. Here's something creative.
Oh, wow. Indian Air in the flare. He's added something different. Remember, between the semis and the finals, they have to change up their run. These are the little details that Josh Sheehan needs to take down Levi Sherwood. Nice, smooth 360 knack. His parents, again, looking on, concerned. He's going into this tunnel. This should be where he adds the double flip, but he has time, I think, maybe to add something after this.
3 seconds left on the clock. Double backflip? You bet!
Nice! Well, the time ran out, but he did get 6 tricks in compared to Levi's 5. Will that weigh on the judges' thoughts? No extra points for the dancing, though, unfortunately.
No lack of energy. There was plenty of variety in run and post run. That's what makes this place, this event. This is why it's the mecca of FMX. And you want to bring your best for the final? I think Josh Sheehan really did.
He put in such a great run there. Just watch this extension and how far he gets the bike whipped out sideways. And here, the look through, kiss of death. And again, I'm knocking Josh Sheehan because I say Levi holds it a little longer. But it's just an amazing trick. And here, look at that scissor kick, the Indian Air. Full commitment and a really massive version of that trick.
That will matter, according to the judges. That creativity, that variety, that's going to count. Now, for a guy who's done more than 130 double backflips, that's why he's able to make it with that grip tape as well that he told us in the feature.
It almost overcooked that one a little bit. You see how he landed on the back wheel. So now it's up to those 5 judges to, well, if he was being judged on his dancing, maybe he'd be winning this one.
So Tess, Taka, you could say, is not in the running for the win. How close do you think it's going to be between Sherwood and Sheehan?
I really honestly think Levi has this because he's laying down such perfect runs.
We'll get to the judges in a moment, but first, here's Sal Masekela back in the Red Bull Signature Series studio.
Thanks, Lee. How about Levi Sherwood's double backflip no-hander? Progression much? Yeah. How about these psychotic fans who get to witness it here at Las Ventas? You think they have something to talk about? Indeed they do. You should communicate with them. You know we have competitors from New Zealand, Australia, Spain, Germany, Japan, the USA, from around the world. So let's make this conversation international, huh? Follow the Red Bull Signature Series on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, any manner in which you get down socially. Do so at RB Sig Series and tag us with the hashtag Red Bull X Fighters. Plus, you can go to RedBullSignatureSeries.com where we have even more exclusive content for you about this event and all of our events this year. And you can also download the Red Bull TV app to watch this show and catch up on every episode from every season. You're welcome. This is X Fighters from the Plaza de Toros de Las Ventas in Madrid, Spain, and you are watching the Red Bull Signature Series.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series. This is X Fighters from Madrid, Spain. Lee Diffie along with Tess Sewell, and we've waited in suspense long enough, I think. It's time to find out which of these three men will be carried out of this arena a champion. Levi Sherwood of New Zealand, Josh Sheehan of Australia, and Taka Higashino of Japan. Who is going to get it? Who will be a Red Bull X Fighters champion? Let's take a look at the respective runs and the Cali roll, the California roll, albeit with a little hiccup for Taka.
Little bit of a hiccup, but still manages to get through this event with an injured shoulder.
For Josh Sheehan, yeah, we've been talking a lot about those double backflips. But the only man to do the no-hander double backflip is Levi Sherwood of New Zealand.
And just shocking how consistently he can do those tricks. Again and again, he pulls the double flip.
So in front of more than 20,000 people here in Madrid at Las Ventas, is it going to be the man with the mullet? Waiting for the judges' decisions.
And you can see our head judge, Ronnie Arena, there, trying to get the decision from those judges. And this is a tough one in some respects because every rider put down a great run. But I think Sherwood on the night was the class of the field.
Here we go, Tess. Here we go. By the way, they travel together, they compete together, they get on very well. So the first one to Levi Sherwood.
Degree of difficulty going to Sherwood. 2 double backflips in one run. He only needs one more helmet to take this one.
And he's done it. Red Bull X Fighters 2017. The champion is Levi Sherwood. He's done it again. Did it in 2012, and now here 5 years later. In the FMX world, this is the biggest one you can win.
And a great win for Sherwood. He has definitely laid down the gauntlet for Tom Pages's return to this event.
How about those fans from New Zealand to witness it firsthand? Go mullet machine! Well, he certainly did go. He went around backwards 2 times, and one of those rotations with no hands on the bars. And with the win, Levi Sherwood gets our Red Bull signature moment. The 25-year-old knew he needed to bring something extra special to Madrid. Despite coming in as the favorite, the rest of the competitors would not give the Kiwi the title without a fight. To capture the coveted win here at the Mecca of FMX, Levi showed up with a new trick and a lighter bike. With flawless execution, Levi made it look all too easy, completing not 1, but 2 double backflip combos, including the no-handed version. Congratulations to Levi Sherwood for getting his second win here in Madrid after a 5-year drought and becoming the 2017 X Fighters champion and capturing the Red Bull signature moment. Now, let's join Tina Dixon.
And the last time Levi Sherwood won here in Madrid was 2012. Levi, wow, what a celebration that you just went through. But how do you put into words this win?
Honestly, I don't know how to explain it. Like you said, it's been 5 years since I last won, and man, this one feels good. I swear they just keep getting better. So, yeah, I just embrace it while I can.
You know, it wasn't that long ago that you learned those double flips. Did you anticipate not only doing 1 but 2 at this event?
Definitely didn't anticipate doing 2 when I began, but after just starting the season and seeing everyone else's level, I really had to, and I really didn't want to ride the quarter pipe, so I had to step up my level somewhere else.
Well, enjoy this win and this celebration. Congratulations, Levi.
Thank you very much. I will.
It was a colossal performance.
And Levi Sherwood managed to make the hardest trick in freestyle even harder.
Now let's join Sal Masekela back in the Red Bull Signature Series studio. Sal?
Gracias, Lee, and gracias to all of you for joining us at the 2017 X Fighters in Madrid, Spain. It was amazing. 5 years off the podium, and he returns to glory here at the historical Plaza de Toros de las Ventas. Congratulations to the one and only Levi Sherwood capturing his second title here at X Fighters Madrid, as well as Australia's Josh Sheehan and Taka Higashino from Japan rounding out the podium. An amazing night. Once again, thank you for joining us today on behalf of our entire NBC Sports crew, including Lee Diffie, Tess Sewell, Tina Dixon, and yours truly. We will see you next time.